And you mean to tell me we gotta ask you to come play defense? You want to be the greatest at the top of the top, and you want everyone to volunteer you into a tier level of two of the greatest guys that ever played a game. When you talk about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, you talk about Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, guys you never had to ask to compete. Where are all the Lakers that used to play for the Lakers that are not speaking out on what we are seeing?
We are watching one of the most iconic franchises in sports history slowly come apart. And not with explosions or chaos, but with something way more dangerous. Silence, comfort, people getting used to excuses that would never slide in any other era. Standards are being quietly lowered, and everyone is acting like this is normal behavior just because of who's wearing the jersey. This is not a bad week or a rough patch you brush off and forget. This is not just injuries or bad luck. This is a cultural shift happening right in front of us, and it's being normalized in real time. Accountability has disappeared, expectations are softer, and criticism suddenly has rules attached to it. Instead of real honesty, we're getting narratives, carefully framed stories, gentle explanations designed to protect reputations instead of addressing reality. Analysts tiptoe around obvious issues, media voices hesitate, and the silence gets louder every night. So let's ask the real question, straight up. Are the Lakers protecting LeBron, or is LeBron indirectly forcing the Lakers to accept lower standards just to keep the peace? Because both can't be ignored forever. This isn't about denying talent or pretending greatness didn't happen. Nobody is rewriting history here. Longevity matters, production matters, legendary moments matter. But standards matter too. Consistency matters. And when someone demands to be measured as the greatest ever, they don't get special exemptions when things go sideways. Everyone's watching now. This conversation needs to happen before the excuses lock in and the usual reactions take over. Drop your answer below, because dodging this question is no longer an option. Because when we talk about the real legends of this game, the difference jumps off the screen immediately. Nobody ever had to beg Michael Jordan to lock in. Nobody had to remind Kobe Bryant that the game mattered tonight. They didn't need quotes taped to lockers or PR campaigns explaining why effort looked different on certain nights. They showed up, they competed, they defended, and when they didn't meet their own standard, they owned it publicly. No hiding, no excuses, no smoke screens. Here's where it splits, and it's simple. In this league, you either show up or you fade out. There is no third option. But somehow LeBron James skipped parts of the evaluation process that every other legend had to pass through. He was placed into the GOAT conversation without being held to the same leadership and behavioral standards. And the second you question that, the reaction isn't discussion, it's shutdown.
He skipped the line and he can be compared to Jordan, but you got a lot of players in the league that are great, won some championships, but if you try to put them in the GOAT conversation, they look at you like you're crazy. So it's obvious LeBron has a chokehold on the media. He's a social media junkie. He has his pawns working overtime to push these narratives, and LeBron James is a fraud.
Suddenly you're labeled biased. Suddenly you don't know basketball. Suddenly you're told you're stuck in the past. But the tape doesn't care about feelings. The tape doesn't care about branding. The tape doesn't lie. Look at what happened before LeBron returned from his extended absence. The Lakers weren't dominant, but they were alive. They were engaged. They were moving with purpose. They played loose, fast, and connected. It looked like basketball, not hierarchy management. Austin Reeves stood out instantly, not just because of stats, but because of confidence. He was decisive. He attacked without hesitation. He played free. He wasn't second-guessing every move or waiting for permission. The ball moved, the offense flowed, and even defensively, the effort showed up night after night. Then LeBron came back, and you could feel the shift almost immediately. Spacing tightened, rhythm disappeared. The offense slowed down, roles hardened again. Certain players shrank, not because the team improved, but because the pecking order demanded it. Austin Reeves didn't forget how to play basketball. His freedom was removed. Luka didn't suddenly stop caring. He followed the tone that was set, because effort spreads fast in locker rooms. When the leader sprints, everyone sprints. When the leader jogs, everyone jogs. That's the part nobody wants to say out loud. LeBron is not just another player on this roster. He is the emotional thermostat of the entire team. Right now, the thermostat is set to selective effort, selective engagement, and selective accountability. And those choices ripple outward whether people admit it or not. You can see it affecting the head coach too. JJ Redick is trapped in a contradiction. As an analyst, he called out soft accountability. He criticized excuse culture. He demanded honesty from leaders. Now he stands at the podium repeating safe phrases about effort and execution like a man boxed in.
Before LeBron got there, where were the Lakers and how did they look?
We got there, 2018?
Phenomenal.
This year.
This year.
Okay, I'm going to say.
This year, Slim Luka, before he started to slowly become Free Willy again.
He did. Yeah.
He looked great.
This isn't hate. This isn't denial of greatness. This is about standards. And legends don't get exemptions from the standards they helped create. Words of the day. That isn't leadership language. That's survival language. This is a professional NBA locker room full of grown men, not a classroom waiting for a motivational phrase written on a whiteboard. You can hear the frustration behind the calm tone. You can see the restraint in every answer. You can feel the pressure hanging in the air. JJ Redick knows exactly what the issue is. He knows who isn't setting the example. He knows who the room is watching every single possession. But he also knows the moment he says it out loud, the machine activates instantly. The media ecosystem spins up. The podcast circuit lights up. Influencer defenders rush in. The narrative shield snaps into place. Suddenly, it's not about basketball anymore. It's about optics, access, and protecting relationships. You get Rich Paul, you get media allies, you get former players stepping in, and the message gets buried under noise. JJ understands something very clearly. Naming names doesn't lead to accountability. It leads to consequences. His authority gets questioned. His motives get attacked. His future gets destabilized. So instead of direct truth, he speaks in code. Phrases like, "Some guys don't want to make that choice" aren't vague by accident. They're intentional. And everyone knows exactly who he's talking about. That's why this isn't about one loss or one bad defensive night. This is about culture. This is about whether the Lakers still stand for something real or whether they've become a platform for narrative management.
But I look at something that's a crazy dynamic for JJ Redick because, he got on TV when he was an analyst at First Take, and he spewed so heavily about Doc Rivers being the guy that never take accountability and always throwing his team under the bus and always blaming this and that. He's guy never takes accountability. Oh my God.
Brown sugar.
But full circle, we see JJ get up here in the press conference and constantly duck giving accountability to his star players who do not play defense clearly because we all are watching.
Defense tells the truth. Defense exposes effort. Defense reveals pride. Defense shows whether a player respects the game or treats it like a suggestion. Michael Jordan took defense personally. Kobe Bryant treated it as a responsibility. Bill Russell built championships on it. LeBron James treats it like an option. And when the coach tries to address it publicly, he has to blur the truth. He can't say the leader isn't setting the tone. He can't say the best player is hurting the team defensively. So instead, blame gets spread evenly across the group. But teams don't move as groups. They move as reflections of their leaders. Players see everything. They see the jogs back in transition. They see the missed rotations. They see the energy conservation. They see who expects help and who actually provides it. And respect doesn't disappear loudly. It erodes quietly, one possession at a time, one shrug at a time, one silent glance between teammates at a time. We've seen this movie before. Same issues, same lack of accountability, same deflection. Darvin Ham lived this reality and paid for it with his job. Now JJ is walking the same path, and you can feel it. His words feel constrained. His authority feels compromised. His presence feels more like a negotiator than a leader. That's what happens when a coach is forced to coach around a superstar instead of coaching through him. The Lakers brand is supposed to mean excellence, toughness, accountability, pride. Fans don't pay to watch half-speed defense followed by post-game explanations. They pay to see professionals honor the jersey.
And if you can't hold guys accountable, like we've always said on this couch, which the couch, it was a 4-on-1 day. I remember it was like 78% for me. But when you hold these guys accountable, two things happen. You got to show up or you got to run away. I don't think the fans asked for LeBron James either, but they're both here. Two of the greatest players to play the game. And you mean to tell me we got to ask you to come play defense? You want to be the greatest at the top of the top, and you want everyone to volunteer you into a tier level of two of the greatest guys that ever played a game. When you talk about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, you talk about Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, guys you never had to ask to compete. Even a Magic Johnson. Where are all the Lakers that used to play for the Lakers that are not speaking out on what we are seeing?
And right now, that jersey feels lighter than it should. LeBron has mastered narrative control in a way no athlete before him has. Win or lose, the framing bends in his favor. Losses become roster issues. Defense becomes a scheme problem. Chemistry becomes injuries. Responsibility never lands where leadership says it should. And the media allows it because access matters more than honesty. But fans see it. Players see it. The film shows it. This isn't hate. This is truth. You cannot demand GOAT status while needing reminders to compete. You cannot compare yourself to Jordan while taking possessions off. You cannot claim leadership while avoiding accountability. The greats didn't need protection. They didn't need narratives. They didn't need excuses. They just played. Until LeBron is held to that same standard, this conversation stays dishonest. The Lakers will keep drifting. Coaches will keep looking powerless. Fans will keep feeling gaslit because deep down, everyone knows what they're watching. A franchise torn between legacy and marketing, a coach trapped between honesty and survival, and a superstar chasing the crown without carrying the full weight that comes with it. And the most damning part of all, we're not even asking for greatness anymore. We're asking for effort. At some point, this conversation has to stop being uncomfortable and start being honest. Because what's happening in Los Angeles isn't rare. It isn't confusing. It's being protected. And when reputation becomes more important than results, standards collapse. Great players raise the bar. They don't force organizations to lower it. And when a franchise as proud as the Lakers bends its identity to protect comfort, that's not greatness. That's compromise. And dynasties are never built on compromise. You don't sustain excellence by tiptoeing around the truth. You don't protect legacy by pretending effort suddenly doesn't matter anymore. History doesn't reward comfort, it rewards standards, and right now standards are being negotiated away.
Words of the day on the fucking board that,
Yep.
like, what are we talking about here? Like, the words of the day are effort and execution. Like, I saw that when I used to drop my son off at school, at kindergarten 2 years ago. Word of the day on the door when you walk in.
The uncomfortable truth is this isn't just about LeBron James. It's about what the league has allowed to form around him. It's about how criticism has been rebranded as hate, how accountability is labeled disrespect, how pointing out what's clearly on film is treated like crossing a line you're not supposed to cross. That's how real conversations die. That's how standards erode quietly while everyone pretends nothing changed. That's how future generations grow up thinking greatness is about longevity, branding, and carefully protected narratives instead of sacrifice, responsibility, and doing the ugly work when it matters most. If we can't be honest about what's happening right now, then every conversation about the past becomes meaningless. You can't celebrate old standards while ignoring new ones. You can't praise toughness while excusing selective effort. You can't talk about greatness while lowering the bar to make it more comfortable to clear. So the real question goes to you. What are we actually watching right now? Is this still the Lakers standard, or has it quietly turned into something else entirely? Is this leadership, or is it entitlement dressed up as legacy? Because fans see it, players feel it, the film shows it, and silence only helps the erosion continue. Great franchises don't survive by pretending problems aren't there. They survive by confronting them head-on. If effort stands out to you too, don't stay quiet. Like the video if you believe standards still matter. Subscribe if you want honest basketball conversations without narrative protection. And most importantly, comment below. Tell me where you stand on LeBron, the Lakers, and what greatness is supposed to look like today. Because the only way this conversation changes is when people stop pretending they don't see what's right in front of them.